Hey, I'm Ron Drotos from keyboardimprov.com, and welcome to day 5 of the Art of Keith Jarrett, my 31-day tribute to the great musician who's been an inspiration for me and so many of us. So in the mid-1980s, I was in college at the University of Connecticut, way out in eastern Connecticut, and sort of farmland country. And it was a very late night in the winter. That's what I remember, and probably either 86 or probably early 87, like, I don't know, February or March 1987. And I was driving home. I'd been practicing at school or rehearsing, until like 11 at night or something. And I was driving home, and I had about a 20-minute drive to my apartment, and I had to drive. It was really beautiful. I had to drive through this state park. I think it was called Mansfield Hollow. And there was winding roads through the woods with snow all around. And my Volkswagen that I was driving at the time was very old, and it was just freezing. The heat didn't work. I think the heat ducts had rotted out or rusted out, and if I put my hand down sort of on the side of the seat, my fingers would get a little warm. I used to keep a blanket in the car. And the back seat, there was a hole in the floor and everything like that. So a lot of cold air coming in. But I loved it, college student, just, hey, I'm playing music full time and just learning so much. And I was listening to the radio. There was a jazz station, I don't know, Hartford, Connecticut or something. And it was all staticky. And they were playing some music. And as I'm driving through the park around 11 or midnight, and just such beauty, right? With the snow and the trees and the pure winter air. I heard something that just floored me. I couldn't believe it. It was a medium swing tune played by a trio, and the phrasing was so fluid over the beat. I had never heard anything like that. It went way beyond, in my estimation, what Bill Evans had done in that way. Luckily they said who it was, because this is before the internet, and couldn't have Googled it, and I don't even know which station it was or anything. But they said it was Keith Jarrett playing Stella By Starlight from the album Standards Live, which had come out in '86. Now, I had grown up as a high school student a few years before, listening to a lot of Keith Jarrett, but I didn't catch the beginning of the Standards Trio. I was in college, and this is before the internet. You didn't get alerts on your phone when new records came out, or you couldn't follow websites devoted to Jarrett, and even just see tons of videos or anything. So I had the Colin concert, and I loved his European quintet. In particular, some Village Vanguard recordings by them, and some of the American trio and quartet. But Gary Burton Chick Corea album I had. But I didn't really know the beginnings of the Standards Trio, which had started a couple of years before then with 2 studio albums. So this was just revelatory to me. I just couldn't believe it. So I went to the record store the next day and got the record and just played that forever and ever. There's something about that recording, where, I don't even know it, he's just playing, and it's like... It's just, the phrasing is so free and expressive that, like I said, it just totally showed me possibilities of phrasing and jazz piano and freedom that I never thought of before. So if you haven't heard that, check it out. Standards Live. It's Keith Jarrett with Jack DeJohnette on drums and Gary Peacock on bass. And I believe it was their 3rd album after 2 studio recordings, Standards Live. And then they ended up recording live for the rest. I don't know, they might have done a couple studio recordings, like Changeless. But basically live albums. And that was the start of it. So it totally set my playing on a different course. And I hope you were inspired by it as well. And pick up what you can. You don't have to play his lines. You can pick up the phrasing or whatever and let it influence you, and just absorb it and let it come out in your playing. thanks for being here. I'm excited about this. This is day 5 already. And if you have a Keith Jarrett recording that is one of your favorites or influenced you in a similar way, please leave it in the comments so we can all check it out and encourage each other on this journey through learning music. So thanks again for being here, and I'll see you in day 6. Take care.